I don't recognize anybody's identity, what they claim their identity is. I rep- I recognize reality. Some dude tells me he's a woman, identifies as a woman. I don't recognize that because it's delusional. It's not real. It's in his head. But yet the same people, these gays, these queers for Palestine, they don't recognize my Jewish history or identity, calling me a colonizer in my own land that I have a 4,000 history in. So if you're not going to recognize my Jewish identity, why the fuck would I recognize the identity of anybody who's trans or anybody else? If you're going to deny me my identity and gaslight me about my history, which is the absolute truth, then why on earth would I buy into your identifying yourself as a female or a female identifying herself as a male? Well, that's complete bullshit. Why would I buy into a bullshit lie when the same people don't buy into reality and the truth of my people? So I'm just going to tell you point blank, even if I lived in a country where I was, obviously in America, we are not forced to go along with your cosplay. There's no law that says I have to recognize some male crossdresser as a female. There's nowhere. There's no law in America stating that I have to use your pronouns. There's no laws in America forcing me to use certain words I don't want to use. Yeah, there's laws against hate speech. There should be. But, or not necessarily hate speech, but speech that incites violence. There should be laws against that. There should be laws against yelling fire in a crowded theater when there's no fire. But for why on earth will some trans person please leave me a comment stating why, if you don't recognize my identity and my history of 4,000 years in the Middle East, which is reality, written about in the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Quran, 3 religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all recognize that. I know. A lot of you people think it's bullshit. So, it's written history. But what's not in written history is cosplay. Some male pretending he's a female because he identifies as a female. Now, look, I'm going to be quite frank. I've got a younger gay brother, a lot of gay friends, even tranny friends. But I don't have to go along with some transgender person's identity if I don't want to, especially if they're not going to recognize my identity. Makes no sense. If you're denying my identity, which is based on reality, why should I respect your identity that you're a female when you're actually a male, which is actually based on a delusion? I shouldn't have to, and I don't. And I'll debate anybody on the matter, the subject. It's just not going to happen. First of all, whenever you talk to people, you don't use pronouns directly to them anyway, other than you call them by their name or you say, "How are you doing?" or "How are you doing, John?" I don't sit there and say, "Hey he, hey she, how are you doing?" Those are terms you'd use if I'm talking to somebody else about you. And if I'm doing that, you're not hearing it anyway. So your pronouns are all narcissistic bullshit. And I don't recognize how you identify. I'm just sorry. You know, it's gotten too far out of control now where you can literally identify as anything you want. And you know what? You have every right to. If you want to identify as a bird and get on a 10-story building and try to fly off of it and see if you can fly, be my guest, you know? If you want to identify as a woman, I'm not stopping you from doing that. I'm an old school liberal. I believe as long as you're not hurting anybody. But here's the catch all to it. Don't force your beliefs on me. Don't. Why? Because no amount of forcing your beliefs on me is going to make me buy into your BS. And if push comes to shove too hard, obviously, you know who's going to, you know where the consequences are going to fall, not on me. So you people that want me to call you by your pronouns that are not based in reality, I'm going to tell you right to your face, I won't do it. Am I transphobic? No. Do I have a fear of trans people? No. I'm just not going to buy into a delusion, a fairy tale, which alters my reality. If you want to alter your reality, alter it. I'm the most open-minded person around. If you want to get your penis cut off and get a neo-vajayjay, do it. Then I'll call you a trans woman at least. But if you got a penis and you're identifying as a chick, more power to you. But don't force your BS onto me, especially when you're not tolerant of older white Jewish men like me. I mean, older white men are like, we were on the top of the totem pole, now we're on the bottom of the heap. And older Jewish white men are like really at the bottom of the heap. So if you're not going to respect me, you're not going to respect my identity, I ain't going to respect yours. And what are you going to do about it? Literally, if I misgender somebody in real life, whether accidentally or purposely or whatever, what are they going to do about it? Nothing. They can't do anything. They can't call law enforcement because no law's broken. And if they try to verbally attack me or abuse me, I'm the king of that. I'll fire back. And if they try to physically harm me, I don't care how much estrogen or T they're on. It doesn't matter. Because I'm always packing 24/7. So if you're going to force your cosplay, your role play onto me, I'm telling you right now, get it through your pea-brain heads that I'm not going to go along with it. Am I going to stop you from identifying as a woman if you're a man? Of course not. I'm not going to do that. It would be hypocritical of me to do that. So I'm not going to force you to step into reality, and you're not going to force me to step into your cosplay bullshit, delusion, fairy tale. So it's a draw. We're equal. And if you don't like it, I encourage anybody that doesn't like it to say it right to my face. And if they want to lay hands on me and punch me, go for it. I'm always up for a good fight. So just remember, your perception of yourself and how you identify, that's all on you, boys and girls. That's got nothing to do with me. And I'm not going to force my beliefs onto you because you don't believe the truth anyway. And you're not going to force your fictional beliefs on me. And that's just how it is. And I'm the most, believe me. I live 10 miles from Palm Springs. Like half the dudes over 50 are gay there. 35% of all the guys are gay. I'm sure we got our share of trannies too, but you know, I got no problem. I mean, it's like I got lots of gay friends. This has nothing to do. First of all, being trans and being gay is like two different things. It should just be LGB. The T and the Q, it should be LGB like it used to be, and the TQ, LMNO, PQRS, whatever, it should be separate. I mean, what does a horny gay guy have anything in common with some transsexual who's, asexual? Nothing. So, in closing, if you expect me to respect your pronouns, I ain't gonna do it. I'm just not. Why? Again, because I'm not going to demand anything of you. In fact, you could call me a motherfucker, an asshole. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't take it as an insult from people like you. I take it as a compliment. So, moving forward, in closing again, once again, anybody that comes across me in public, I'm not going to go along with how you identify, unless you're a male identifying as a male or a female identifying as a female. But if you're trying to identify as the opposite sex, it's just, I'm not going to identify you or recognize you as that. Am I going to stop you from doing it? I'm going to force you to not do that? No. Totally open-minded. I mean, if somebody like Mel wants to put on a dress and walk around like a chick in drag, go for it. More power to you. I'm not against it. I am against trans and kids. Anything to do with kids under 18, I'm against. But if you're over 18 and you want to get your penis chopped off and shoved up your dirt chute, the only objection I have is that insurance pays for it. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But I'm not going to, you're not going to, if you try to force me to buy into your fictional fairy tale nonsense, it just ain't going to happen. And if push comes to shove, it's not even going to be, it's just hands down. I'm not going to be forced to do anything. Because I'm packing. I'm packing two things: a big penis and a 9mm.